Welcome to Nerdy as Fuck. Today we are talking House of the Dragon. I was going to say Hot D. We are talking about
D.
Hot D. Today we are talking House of the Dragon Season 3, the entire season, mostly the last episode because, that's the last one that came out. But we kind of wanted to talk about how we felt about the whole season. It's pretty all over the place. I've seen a lot of good things. I've seen a lot of bad things. So wherever you sit on the spectrum, just know you're wrong. We'll just do initial reactions first, just to, feel out how everyone's feeling about this season.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I was telling you guys before, I definitely liked it better than season 2. It wasn't as weird or just boring. Season 2 was all over the place, but I definitely
could watch
didn't.
Paint dry, and it would be more entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. So dry.
Yeah.
But I definitely didn't like it better than season 1. So it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. That's basically where I stand, in the middle. But I definitely felt the comedy aspect, I felt like it was really funny this season, especially Aegon and is his name Ulf? And the guy Ulf. Found Ulf very entertaining. Even though he's stupid, he was entertaining.
I agree with Phoenicia 100%. I liked this season better than season 2 by far. Definitely not better than season 1. Mm-hmm. I hated the way they portrayed Rhaenyra. I fucking hated it. And I thought they were all over the place. I don't like that. I did see some of the arcs and where things went, but I had an issue with some of the stuff with the dragons. And yeah, it just, I have, some personal gripes with it, but I know we already renewed. We're getting season 4 and that's going to be, I think, the final season. So we'll see where it goes. Dance of the, it's definitely the final season, but the dance of the dragons is really what they need to get out in season 4. So that's a lot to cover. And for where they left off and kind of where they have her. And it just really kind of paralleled Daenerys and the God of Thrones. You saw her go off the deep end, Rhaenyra. So there were a lot of good. I thought the season started off really strong. I love the Battle of the Gullet. I really fucking was so psyched. And there were some issues, some Lestat vibes in there for a minute. I mean, but overall it was a good season.
I think the young Rhaenyra has better chemistry with Daemon than adult Rhaenyra. And I think that plays a huge part in why these seasons are so different. The chemistry is just not the same. And I think I said this to you guys in chat too. I was I never thought I would be pro niece and uncle. But season 1, I really was. And now I'm not. Now I'm get divorced. Whatever.
Dude.
I feel Daemon's all for her, but it's I don't know.
I mean, I liked it better than season 2, but the bar was so low. It was so buried in the ground that it was almost impossible for me to not like this season more just because things had to happen this season. If I turn off my brain and I try not to think about this show as a Game of Thrones universe show, it's okay. I don't even know if I'd be watching it, to be honest, if it wasn't related to Game of Thrones. If it was just some dude's story, I'd be okay, cool, man. It's just a bad Game of Thrones. That's super cool for you.
That's so
but
funny.
Nope, it's just someone butchering another person's books, which is great. I think when I think back on the season, I hate it more than I did while watching it because I think a lot of stuff happens during the season that I was oh, that's cool. They, killed Jace and Rhaena with Sheep Stealer and all that was pretty interesting. But upon reflection, upon getting past the finale and looking back, it was literally just stuff happening. It's hard not to compare it to the original series, but there's such a sense of consequence and momentum in the original series. Every conversation that happens, you're paying attention to the way people slight other people and just slight facial expressions. And there's so much nuance to the story that you're so locked in to try and figure out where things are going and how arcs are going to play out. And in this show, it's almost like the writers are in a room being we have this set piece, and this set piece. And for this season, it's Battle of the Gullet. Then you have, I don't know, I guess the fight with the 3 dragons and Rhaena, and then you have Tumbleton at the end. Stuff happens in between that, but none of it really feels like it's leading into the next thing. It's just this thing is going to happen. And then there's some stuff in the middle. And then this thing is going to happen. It's coming.
Yeah.
One of the things that really got me that I realized going back was Ormond's character. Because he was one of my favorites this season. I don't know. I think it's episode 4. He's all right, we're getting to work now. Things are going to go. And I was all right, episode 5, we're going to actually get some stuff. Maybe some Tumbleton stuff. And then 4 more episodes or 4 more episodes after that. We're still chilling. And he has some big grand plan going in the background. You're oh, wow, this guy must be working so many angles. He's got Corlys, that's got to be for something. And then maybe he's gonna like have Daron like fly out and kill Daemon maybe, or he's like gonna backdoor and try to kill Daron. And his whole plan was just trick Ulf.
Yeah.
And then Ulf kills him. I was like, wait. What? That was your grand plan? He felt like Littlefinger, and I was like, oh, cool. We got a character that's like akin to someone who's really smart, like a Tyrion or something.
Yeah.
And then he was just nothing. There was actually no plan. The plan was to turn a guy.
Yeah,
right.
Why did you take Corlys? To cut off his finger? And then
it felt almost pointless.
And he was so good. I gotta say, the one thing I love about this season, the actors are doing everything they can. And you can tell the script isn't quite there. The guy who plays Aegon, we were talking about that. He's so good this season.
He's perfect. He couldn't be more perfect. Daemon is like, I don't think like Daemon could have been casted by like anyone better. I feel like he portrays him perfectly. I love him. He's amazing.
He's
good. Probably my favorite on the show. I'm actually shocked you liked Ormond. I hated him.
Yeah, that's why he's so good though.
I mean, the actor's good, but the character, the actor sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, the character sucks. Well, not the actor. Sorry.
The acting was great, but I freaking hated him. And you're right. His direction was kind of like skitter scattered. Yeah. So that's kind of like where his mind was. He was like kind of all over the place. And we kind of figured out to make that backdoor deal. And it was, that was like the only reason why Corlys was brought there, because nothing else really had been done with him. And I'm like, for what? Like he took the whole hand. She just made his hand. Like, for why? So I get you on that. That definitely I had a gripe with.
Even as like the whole Battle of Templeton's coming to an end, I'm like, oh, they brought Corlys here so that he'd die.
Yeah.
Nope.
He just pops out of the ether and it's like,
he's
just
in the background. He's just in the background chilling.
What? Where were you?
Like,
when you think about it, he saved Daemon. And I was like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, I was like, confused.
He did. He popped out like out of nowhere.
Daemon, who's not even supposed to be in Tumbleton. I won't talk about the little that I know about the books, but
did you notice in the scenes in the finale specifically, like there was a scene when like Daemon's getting on his dragon and then off his dragon, and they like cut so much to like he's on his dragon, then they cut and he's off, and then he's on his horse in like a second.
Yes,
that bothered me so much. We were watching that, we were like, wait a minute, how did like they went from there to there in like a split second? It was so weird.
My biggest issue, you need Daemon at the Battle of Tumbleton. He needs to use his dragon to do damage, but not a lot of damage. So he can't like fire up the wall. He's just got to like use it to blow through the door, but then doesn't use the dragon to kill the dudes right behind the door. Instead, he like bounces, and then his dragon leaves. It is, I don't know, just like goes away because it's off screen. It doesn't exist anymore, I guess. And then Daemon has to be on a horse inside of Tumbleton fighting these dudes so that he doesn't notice when Ulf turns sides and starts killing his army. His dragon just lets that happen, I guess, because Daemon doesn't notice. And then at the end anyway, you see Daemon's dragon like chasing Silverwing away. And I'm like, okay, like, so you had to like set up a circumstance into where like Daemon was in the city without his dragon and busy enough fighting someone to not notice that another dragon had like, why not just don't have him there? You just don't need him there because he's not even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
What?
Weird shit.
Like, it's such a weird circle of shit to just have him not notice that another dragon is popping off.
Yeah, I hated it. It was so poorly planned.
And I can't think of the other dragon rider's name, the one that the wife died in the finale that he went back for. Hugh. So that's right, Hugh. So his dragon was without a rider, and that's what Silverwing's mate. Right. So there he's chasing Crux. It was crazy. And I'm like, how did we get there? Because everything kind of just felt a little rushed, I guess. Being that they started to rush certain scenes and certain episodes makes me worry, because if they're gonna have to get out, and I'm sure you can attest to this, what they need to get out for Dance of the Dragons in order for there to be no dragons. That's a lot that they're gonna have to cover in one season.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where they end the story, because I don't think they're going to take it all the way to the very end, which is crazy, because there's characters you need to end this story that don't exist. There's other people that could take their place that I think, we could talk about that in a second. I wanted to get back to the biggest part of this season that I think failed me, which is Rhaenyra as a character.
Yes. Oh my God.
I think we can all agree. Emma Darcy, you are fantastic. You're doing the best you can, but they are giving you absolutely nothing at all.
I felt like it peaked when the scene when Jace, when she sees him dead, right? And then she's like hysterically crying. That was like the peak
Episode
of it
2.
all. And then after that,
So
it just
good.
like was bad. I mean, the acting was still good by Emma, but like her character just after that was like, oh, like it just felt almost cringed. Like some points I was like, I don't want to watch.
Forgot? It felt to me like Jace died. We dealt with it in episode like 2, 3, 4, and then after, not even mentioned again.
No.
Like,
it was like she went from grieving to like grieving, but also like a million other things. Like, and then like those things would be like completely forgotten in the next episode. Like every episode, she just had like 30 new things, just was crying constantly. And like, I know that she had a lot going on, but it was just like almost too much. Like her character went from being like this badass, like cool girl to just like, I don't even know the word.
Emotionally broken and not
just like
knowing
a mess.
what to do.
A mess. And
mess.
A bad queen that like, I can't blame the people for not accepting her as their queen.
No, she had no confidence in herself. So now she's listening to everyone and their mother, right? She's listening to Miss Arias, and she's listening to Damon. She's listening to whoever. She winds up making like, this guy for the treasurer. I can't even think. And like, he kind of played like a really small part, and then it kind of went nowhere because they got into all of this. I got to find him and kill him and blah, blah, blah. And then I wanted to see a little bit more of like Elena's dream, and that kind of like tied into the tapestry. And we see her being like this evil queen or this awful queen now. And obviously she's going to wind up being like this mad, crazy, evil queen that won't even be remembered. And you kind of see it on the tapestry. And I do like that they showed it, but I don't know. I felt like they could have did more with her character.
This is my tinfoil hat theory. I'm pretty sure the writers just really did not want to lean into the like women can't lead trope. This whole season felt like they were just really afraid to have Rhaenyra make the wrong decision. So every situation she's put into, it's someone else making a bad decision on her behalf and her having to be like, oh, there's just nothing I could do. All these stupid, violent men just fuck everything up for me. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe have some agency. It's not that like, it doesn't have to be a story about how women are unfit to lead, because that's not true. It's just not true. It could just be about how this is a person who was like born into a role that they cannot fulfill because they are not meant for it. And that's kind of what I always thought this story was. It's like two families that both believed that they are ordained by the gods, like prophesized and destined to lead a place at the same time. And they fight over it because they both have this strong belief. The scene where she's taking the throne, I think, what is that, episode 3? Where she finally like sits on the throne? Episode 2 or 3? No,
yeah,
2,
it's
Jace
earlier.
Dies. Yeah, it's early in the season.
Yeah.
She's like a blubbering idiot, like walking up the throne super. And I'm like, I know the character should be reluctant to take the throne. It doesn't even feel like she wants it. And then she has to kill Allison's father. I can't remember his name right now. He's just been locked in a basement for a whole season. Yeah, Otto. And like snot dribbling down her face, like trying to cut. I'm like, oh my God.
Pathetic.
Like, Rhaenyra. It's just so like the opposite of who she's always been. Like, I get it. She's going through like a thing, but like also at the same time, like, how do you just like completely rewrite a whole character who people love?
She doesn't have a consistent character. I was saying this to my fiance while we were watching. It's like scene to scene, she goes from like, am I going to be crazy to like, oh, like, will you please tell me that I'm worthy? Like that scene with Massaria, where she's like on her knees and like, tell me I'm worthy. I was like, wait, what? What is happening?
Like Homelander vibes. Like,
dude, for real.
Right. It's like,
what can I do?
She had no identity. She had no idea, like, really kind of like who she was, who she stood for. Like, she tried to act like her father and think like her father. Then she tried to think for herself and she made a bad decision. Then she, like, was listening to Damien the Massaria. And then even, like, Damien, like, as a man, and you see her break through all of that, I give him credit for standing by her side. I'm just saying, the times that it was. I didn't see him stepping out. So, high five. I'm just saying, because
he's the best.
He's a blubbering mess. Or even just him telling her, like, you take a back seat, let me be king. Like, even he didn't do that. Like, I'm like, you have a lot of faith in your wife, and I high five.
He like 100% like adores her.
I was saying like 100%. Like, I was just like, wow. I went through this whole season expecting a little betrayal from him or something. Nada. He was right there by her side. And I was like, high five, because that's a rarity among men. And
especially in a show like this, it feels like anyone could like, switch sides at any time. But no, I think he's very loyal. Like, I've never questioned Damon's love for her I mean, that was like his niece. He was like loving her when she was like underage. So, I mean, he's like all about her.
They're pretty much the same age now because for some reason they had to age up the actress and not Damon. So now they're just the same age. Like, it's okay. It fucking sent me after everything she's been through, like, especially after Jace's death. It really felt like the one thing that starts to turn her into a mad queen. I don't know, it's kind of the most frustrating thing in this episode. But actually, no, the second most is someone like tells her that Aegon is alive and flying around. And she's like, oh, he's risen. He's back. They're all going to question me. And I was like, bro, you've been through so much. You already knew he was alive.
Right.
Like, you already knew this. And now you're just like melting the fuck down.
The way she was walking.
Crashed out.
Oh my God.
Like, use your dragons. I would have been like, everybody in the air. We're fucking hunting him down. Right the fuck now. I'm going to show him exactly who I am.
Even after that freak out, for some reason, she's like, well, we must take Tumbleton now. I'm like, wait, what?
What does that have anything to do with like, what you were just going
that doesn't drop on your list of priorities at all? Oh
my God, she's such a hot mess. Just like the first thing she thinks, she acts on it. She has not thought through anything. She's just like relying too much on other people and then like taking out when it goes wrong, just taking all out on everyone else.
In trying to avoid being like anti-feminist, it's like the story itself just like makes her into such like a weird pick-me nothing of a person that it feels like the most sexist shit in the world. She's like just led around like a dog by whatever emotion she's feeling in the moment.
It's messed up. It's messed up.
She could have been such a dude. Season 1, I keep seeing that one clip of when like they all have, or when they all meet up after Alicent and her kids like fight and they take Aemon's eye, and then Alicent like freaks out and grabs the knife and goes to like take Jace's eye, and I'm like, oh my God, that scene was so good. You have like Cole go in and Daemon steps in front of him and is like, no. Oh, dude, looking at that, I'm like, oh, that's really good writing, and these characters have a lot of, I don't know, history and tension, and there's nuance to their relationships, and now it's just, I'm gonna cry because something bad. I'm like, oh God, please stop.
Yeah. I mean, it really made me like Alicent. For like, I'm not team Alicent. I am team like Rhaenyra, but like her acting crazy, I'm like, bitch, you're making me want to be on Alicent's side. And I don't even like her. Like,
dude, this season made me on Aegon's side.
That
and
too,
I watched him
bit.
do the most inhumane shit for 2 seasons, and now I'm like, no, he's the guy, I guess.
Yeah, he's about it. He's about it.
He's the only one who wants it.
He's the only one working for it. The only one who like is like willing to like make this, or I don't know, do crazy shit no one else is willing to do.
Also has the most iconic moments of this season.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, yeah.
When Sunfire popped up behind him with that charred fucking face and Aegon's the other face, I'm like, the two of them make a whole face.
I was like, is this a dream? How is this possible?
So epic. I was
like, one of the most so contrived that he's like about to die to an army of dudes and his dragon raises from the dead to walk up behind him. I was like, are you serious?
Burn them.
But the way he plays the scene, I'm like, all right, I love this.
You're like, fuck it, I'll take it.
He's like, I'll take it.
The scream and when he's laughing.
He was not a pussy. Like, he was not like ready to turn him out. He was like, let's go. But you guys had mentioned it before, like the way Rhaenyra like responded, and I was like, why would you say he's risen? And then the whole scepter thing and the way she killed him, I was like, why are you burning bridges?
And then
let's talk about it. Let's talk about that whole scene. So you have Rhaenyra. She wants to be anointed by the Septon, so she goes to the Septon and is like, do it. And he's like, no, bro. The last king came back from the dead with his dead dragon. I'm like, yeah, you probably should have told people he was dead, because if you pop back up, it's going to look really bad for you. Anyway, yeah, she's like, okay. And then gets Alan to kill the Septon. I'm like, oh, okay. I think there was supposed to be a character arc somewhere in there for Alan, but I've seen him a total of like 7 minutes for the entire season. I don't really give a fuck about him. The look on his face, I know the actor is trying to portray something for me. I don't know what it is, because I know nothing about this guy, which is really annoying, because that should have been a huge character moment. He basically killed the Pope.
Yeah.
He stabbed the Pope. There should be some feelings in me of like, ooh. But nothing.
He felt bad after, I think. He looked like he was questioning it. I actually really like his character. I like him a lot.
That's why I wish I knew about him, because I want to know emotionally what that did to him. We didn't even get a scene with him after that.
No, we didn't. But if you think back to like the Battle of the Gullet, he was a fucking beast. So like they at least showed that, and then
he's so good.
But then you see him like not really give a shit about like the legitimacy thing and like
no, I don't think he gives a fuck now.
Like not question, but he asked about being the hands, and he really didn't show hesitation when he went to go kill the scepter. Like he thought about it, and I think like he's like, all right, she's lost her fucking mind.
If you went to the Vatican and there was 1,000 people waiting for the Pope to speak, and you stabbed the Pope, there'd be so many emotions going through you. Like, do I walk out of this building or do I just get ripped apart by the mob outside that is waiting for... I don't know. It just felt like there was a lot more that could be explored there. I guess they had to waste time with the weird love triangle this season with him and his brother and his niece. Great stuff. Love it. I don't know who really loves incest in the writer's room, but please stop.
Fix that.
It's enough.
In an Aemon scene, I was throwing up that whole Lestat thing. I was like, why? Please don't do this.
So unnecessary.
Whatever her name is, the witch.
I love that he was like grossed out when he saw it wasn't his mom. He was like, ugh, you're not my mom. Get off me.
What the hell?
I was like,
okay. I really want to talk about Rhaenyra's speech, though. Because we're on the Septon stuff. So, like, she kills the High Septon, walks out, and just ordains herself. And the one thing, I had literally had to pause the show when this happened. She tells all the small folk about the prophecy that is only supposed to be held within Targaryen lineage. And that is why Game of Thrones is because no one knows. No one knows. And now a bunch of people just know. And it's just an open secret, I guess, for the TV show, which is fucking crazy, dog. Crazy.
But did you see their reaction? They just stood there like they didn't give a fuck.
They didn't give a fuck. They don't believe her. They don't fuck with her.
She's the queen of bastards. They don't really care what she's saying. And then what tops the cake on them and her like losing her shit, she starts speaking to them in Old Valyrian. I'm like, bro, no one understands you. No, who are you talking to right now in Old Valyrian? You are convincing yourself, you psychotic bleep.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you just started doing calculus equations in the middle of a speech to be like, I am super special.
Yes, I'm better than you.
Look at how special I am.
She tried to make it seem like that was like her whole thing too, like trying to say like I'm the one my dad chose, like so she was trying to seem like she was like that bitch, but instead she just like turned them all the other way.
And in the original, I think my largest issue with this season, outside of the writing, is the original show had a really, really good way of giving you a sense of how the people in the world felt about the things that were happening and the pressures that brought. And this show cannot do that. It's just every other scene, they're like, the people are hungry. I'm like, can you show me? Can you show me that they're hungry?
People?
Yeah. And then there's like 1,000 people listening to her ordain herself as God King. And no one screams. Do we not remember when Cersei had shit thrown at her while she was walking through the streets of King's Landing? The small folk are a force of their own, which is going to come into play next season. I'm not going to spoil anything, but like... They play a very large part in what happens in this story, and the fact that we are not feeling the pressure from the people, especially in that scene. No one boos. They could have just started chanting like Queen of Bastards. Like anything. But they
walked away.
Everyone's just like, roughly there is like 1,000 people watching her, but you can't even see the end. Like that's just like the crowd of people in front of her immediately.
Yeah.
She's like 40 guards. They could just kill you. You just killed the Pope.
Yeah.
You killed their Pope and then walked out and you're like, I am God King now. And they're all like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm like, oh, it was so frustrating to not have, this world does not feel like a world. It just feels like pockets of scenes teleporting around and nonsense, but it's dragons. So
they're like the best part, and it's like kind of sad because we're watching their downfall. You know, like that's the worst part. Like we know what's happening, but at the same time, whenever we lose one, I'm like, no, it like hurts me more than when we lose one of the human.
Dude,
characters.
Sheepstealer, when Sheepstealer got beat up, I was like, please stop.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. I don't like to see it. Whenever they're fighting, I'm like, stop, everyone, just love each other. Stop listening to the humans. Just go be.
I was also watching like behind the scenes of the last episode, and it's the director talking about how much he loved Emma Darcy because they would give different versions of that speech and they could like go bigger or go smaller or like push it. And I'm like, oh, so you didn't know what you wanted.
Yeah.
That's crazy
And
that
then
you
you
had
chose
that
the worst.
huge speech planned and you didn't know what direction to give her. So you had her do it in a bunch of different ways so you could find it in the edit. That's like Marvel shit. That's
Yeah, I
not
hate
Game of
that.
Thrones shit.
You could kind of tell that it wasn't as thought out as the other seasons. Like, even with what we
Yeah.
were talking about, with the way they even edited it, it was just like so poorly done, I feel like, in different ways. Not to say it
Right.
was all terrible. Like, there were some really cool moments. Like, I do love all the battle moments, but like, I don't know. There were a lot of things I didn't love, though.
Masaria has her whole thing in this season. Literally last episode before the penultimate episode ends with her and Rhaenyra hooking up. And then this episode starts with her getting kicked the fuck out, which is like some toxic man shit times 10. He's like, here's some money for an Uber, bitch. Get the fuck out. But she doesn't leave. She hops off of her wagon and watches Rhaenyra's speech. And for all the people who have read the book out there, I don't know if you know this yet, but they are definitely making her the shepherd, which is such a horrific thing to do. It's so annoying that they're combining those two characters. I don't know if either of you know who the shepherd is. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Dude,
I
I'm
hate her,
so
though. I don't like her
mad.
face.
I hate her.
I'm sick of her and Rhaenyra's storyline. That pissed me off. I can't even believe
She
she's
has
so
to be.
stupid.
Storyline.
She's all over the place,
She's
Rhaenyra.
all
Like, what are
over.
you doing?
Her accent is the worst thing that's ever entered my ears.
Oh my gosh.
I've never heard a worse sound than
Yeah.
her trying to say words. And every scene is like pain. It's
Yeah.
like it causes her physical pain to act.
Yeah.
When she has that little like pass by with Helena in this episode, in the final episode.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, the queen's the tyrant. She's going to lock you up and kill you and hold you for. I was like, whoa.
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You're saying this in front of like,
That's
she's
all
saying
the
it in front of her
soldiers.
Kingsguard. Yeah, and
All
they're
of
just
it.
like, okay,
Oh
move
my
along,
God,
ma'am.
yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? That's, I don't know. I think you die for saying that
Yeah.
usually.
Seriously.
Especially when you're saying it to the queen's sister. I don't know. I don't know. There's no repercussions.
No.
Okay. I guess she has to get away so we can do the things later in the
Yeah.
next season. It's just so many of those things in this season where I'm
Yeah.
like, there should be a consequence for what is happening, but you have to live to do something later. So there is no Dude, Daemon, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around so much, but Daemon in the Battle of Tumbleton is like Disney level of plot armor. It is so ridiculous. He rips through like 100 dudes and then fights that one guy who I know I'm supposed to know the name of because he looks really important, but I don't know who the
I
fuck
don't know
he
his
is.
name.
I don't know his name either. And
They like kind of build it up like, oh, look, they're going to fight each other. And I'm like,
And then
who?
Damon's not as good as him. So then they give him the
No.
fucking easy way out with the
dude,
firefall. I'm like,
the
oh my
rocks fall
God,
between
come
them.
not
on.
land on him. I don't know how he didn't die, bro. That was
shit was
crazy
so
plot
annoying.
armor. That dude,
Dude,
is
it's-
way more jacked and taller than him. I don't even know how he lived. I don't.
It's like Roadrunner style,
Yeah.
like Acme bullshit. They're face to face the whole time, like fighting each other. The second they split apart, a building collapses. But
And the
like,
guy just like walks away. Like, this shit's
and
so
then
ridiculous.
the fact that Damon's just standing there for the amount of time that he was like dazed out of it. Other
Uh-huh.
people around him are fighting or running. No one thinks to fucking kill him while he's dazed. Like
to kill the prince who
no one else had the balls to step to him. Were there no other greens in there? Like where? Like I'm just saying because other people were battling. No one
Yeah.
was turned around and be like, "Oh, let's just go gang up on him." Like he's out of it. And then Corliss just like seemingly walks out from like the dust
out of
Like,
nowhere,
gotta
the dust. Like,
he has like Find My
Yeah,
Damon
no.
on his phone. He's just tracking him down, dude.
And the fact
I
that
hate it.
Then
like,
he
I was
said,
like,
we gotta go, we're leaving. Like, it was
Not-
like
not
when
we
you're at
won
a
the
party
battle,
with your drunk
nothing.
friend, you're like, we're leaving.
It was horribly frustrating. And I love Damon as a character,
Me
but
too.
to have him start the battle and someone's like, Ulf's missing. They have like the slow push in on his face.
eyes.
And you can see him kind of like contemplating, and he's like, hey, fuck it. Let's go, guys. And I'm like, wait, what? In that
Yeah.
moment, I was like, I literally said out loud, I was like, if Damon doesn't figure out what the fuck is going on with Ulf when someone knows that he's missing and the
Mhm.
battle has started, I'm gonna lose my mind because he's like a somewhat smart
He's
character.
smart. He's very smart.
And he's very aware of like people turning against him. That's kind of his
Yes.
character thing.
Yeah,
is
it's a
like
whole
he never
thing.
lets anyone get on him before. Yeah. So for him to be like the guy that I beat on daily that hates me has disappeared with a nuclear bomb. Fuck it. That won't come back to haunt me. That's fine. Crazy.
And then like, look at how Ormond like went after him, right? Like Ormond knew. Ormond was like, we got to go fucking find him. But when Ormond did, because he treated him that way, that's why he turned around and was like, fuck you and fuck you to both sides.
Yeah.
He made out. And or if you ask me, he was not a traitor. He was true to himself. He played both sides. That was a straight Colonel Mustard. Woo!
He had the balls, man. I mean, he did more than half the other characters this season. So
little bit of book lore. At the Battle of Tumbleton, the only dragons that are there are Ulf and Hugh. And Hugh is the psychopath in the books. So I think they're giving that to Ulf, which I'm kind of bewildered by because Hugh is so cool. He just looks cool as shit with that long ass beard. But yeah, Hugh in the books is like, oh, actually fuck both of you, like wrecks both sides and then decides that he's going to be king and like goes on a rampage and things end for him eventually. But like, it's just weird to me, the changes that they're making where I'm like, yeah, like I guess I like the actor that plays Ulf. I think it's an okay way to justify like why he's doing it. He's just tired of being beaten on. He got beaten on before he got a dragon, then after. But it's weird to me that no one in this world treats someone. He's literally riding a nuke with wings, and no one is like, we should be nice to this guy, maybe
because he can turn on us at any second. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the changes they're making either, and I think that's why George R. Martin doesn't even like the show himself. It feels like, why change certain things? Like, why can't you just keep certain things the way they were? Because it worked. And now you're making it like where like it's sloppy and things don't add up.
Helena's death, which is one of those things you just reminded me of, because it's just a bunch of things that don't add up.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why she does it, but it felt kind of out of nowhere. She got force fed one time and was like, I don't like this. And then Masaria's like, she's never going to let you go, bro.
So that's probably that's what it was. And then when she talked to Rhaenyra, I'm pretty sure their conversation, she saw that Rhaenyra is very just like she's not there. She's not empathetic. She's not like the same as she was just like, you're just like she literally called her ugly. You know, she was like, I don't want to be around you. You're ugly. Like everything about you is ugly. So I mean, like it felt like to her, like she felt like she had no other choice. I mean, her mom left her there. She was alone.
In the book, it's left ambiguous as to whether she was pushed out of the window or whether she jumped out of the window, because in the book, she is very beloved by all the people in King's Landing because she's very nice, which makes a lot of sense because her character is that. But we don't really get that in this season. And she kind of loses her mind after Blood and Cheese, which is the part in season 2 where they kill her baby, which is very rough. More rough in the books, but that's okay. She kind of like goes insane after that. And we don't really get that in this show. I would have really liked to have a long unraveling of Helena, but it really felt like we got like 2 episodes. Like she was happy with the butterflies outside chilling most of the season. She gets locked inside, and all of a sudden she's emaciated and they're doing her makeup like she's a goth kid, and then she jumps out the window. And I don't mind. It's the same as, I guess, the ending of Game of Thrones for me, where I know that's where Daenerys was going, and I'm not really sad that she got there. It's just how we get to these things that are frustrating. Because the payoff is right there, but you have to have a setup for a payoff.
Yes, right.
And there's no setup, just payoffs.
It felt like some decisions to like, some scenes were so dragged on and then others were cut so short. And I was like, who made that decision to like drag this thing that is so pointless and then also cut things that are like a really big deal, like this, for example, Helena's death, which I think we all deserve to see more of. And not just like a quick cut scene of her getting told something by some random chick and then she's just like, okay, I'm out. Like, that's just weird. Like, it just doesn't add up. And then the whole butterfly thing with like Allison at the end, I was like, what?
Wait. And like, where the fuck are you?
Yeah,
she just left Harrenhal.
Are you on a quest?
And is out in the world. I'm assuming she's not kidnapped by the dudes behind her, which means she had dudes waiting outside of Harrenhal for her to bring her back. Dude, the fact that they had her in none of this episode, she just was like at the end, like, butterflies, my daughter's dead.
She's all the fucking place. Like, I don't know what they did to these 2 characters who in season 1 were just like I wasn't on Allison's side or anything, like, but like at least her character was
you good. Understand.
Yeah, you
understand her motivations, her character, why she's doing what she's doing.
Sense. The situation she was put in as a child, you know, like she was forced to marry this guy. Like you understood it, and now it's just like, what?
So, question: do you think that when you saw the men in the background, I don't think she's kidnapped either. Do you think, because you know she always like sets things up and like talks people on the sly and offers him something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she plans, besides killing her son, do you think she planned to have her escort like taken out and was trying to leave and escape, and that's why she wanted out so bad? I don't think she was planning on going back.
I didn't even think about that.
She's never
fucking
going
literally
back.
the worst mother in
She's
the world.
worst mother.
So it would make sense that she doesn't want to go back for her daughter and her grandkid.
She didn't give a fuck about that grandkid.
Dude, no, I feel so bad for Olivia Cook because she is a fantastic actress and she's so good in every scene. And the amount of times they've made her kiss her son in this fucking show, dude, please stop.
Yeah.
I'll say it again.
Awkward
please
as fuck
stop.
for them. Like, even the actors themselves, they hated it. It's weird. She's also just so beautiful. Like, I could just stare at her. I could just stare at her. Like, what?
It's weird. In the original series, it always felt gross watching the incest stuff, but it felt purposeful. It was character building and showing their shame, and so many different aspects of the show relied on that happening.
Yeah.
And in this show, it's like, ew. There's no reason.
Well, the mom is pushing it. Usually it's like someone's like cousin or like something
we got,
different.
like, nieces
it's rarely
on
the
uncles
mom.
The
mom was a bit much. I know Cersei and Jaime, that was pushing it, but even that, like, for some reason, it like they knew it was shameful, but like it worked in that show. Rhaenyra and her uncle, like it works, but for some reason, like that was just like a whole new level that they did not have to
when it's a
take
parent
it to.
and a child, that is fucking nasty.
It makes me want to vomit. Okay.
That's just not acceptable for like the shit that
I'm over here
really
like with young Rhaenyra and her uncle on the dance floor when she was like, "Make me your wife." I was like, "What?" Like I loved it. It was like no one was in the room. I was like with it. I love it. And she's a child. But then like you see this Alicent and her son, and then like the sex was pushing it. Why'd they have to show them having sex?
Dude,
like couldn't they have just kissed? Like leave it at that.
And it's even more frustrating in getting to the end of this season when you realize that Aemon's arc in Harrenhal was him figuring out that trying to kill his brother was a bad thing, coming to terms with that, and then Aegon shows up and he's like forgiving, and Aegon doesn't kill him because he's like, I thought you put up a fight, blah, blah, blah. So like, it's even more frustrating in retrospect that they took the time to have a sex scene with his mom instead of, I don't know, like dreams of his brother. Like Daemon last season had dreams of like his brother and his dead wife and like a bunch of different things that helped him grow. It was very boring to watch, but at least they were story beats that helped him grow and have an arc as a character in the season.
Yeah,
but then Aemon is having sex with witch moms that are like not his mom.
So weird.
And,
did you realize?
And then at the end, he's like, "Oh yeah, I did a bad thing and I hurt my brother." I'm like, "Wait, where did that come from?" And then it's because Aegon has to show up in the next scene. I'm like, "Oh, that's why you said that." Because he's here. Oh,
and then
God.
he flips.
And wait till like Aemon now feels like he fucking owes Aegon so much. So you know he's gonna give up them dragon eggs.
Oh, I just remembered something. Can we talk about how they put those boys on the front line, those little children, and then the one hit that guy in the leg, and he did not have to kill him. Why did he do that? I was like, oh, he's just gonna like slap him in the face. He sliced his face. I'm like, that dude barely hit you. Come on. A little boy.
Not for nothing. I thought it was appropriate for the time period.
It was.
You are cowering. You are cowering and so afraid. And then you're going to attract to who the fuck is going to defend you? Little boy, stay in your lane. I thought it was appropriate. 2 of them got killed. And I swear to God, I know I'm a teacher. I'm sorry. God forgive me. But I was like, yes, kill that little bastard.
No. And I was like, that's so mean. And then it's the kids in front, when they put them in the front with the fire, I was like, why are you standing there? Run away. And Daemon thinks about it for a second, but he's like, you know what? These kids are so stupid.
For the time period and what they know, please.
I think it's just the writers trying to overly accentuate that Ormond is a villain. I quite get it. That everyone's bad. One of the things that's really getting to me, everyone is terrible. There was a saving grace in Game of Thrones with the Starks. You always want them 100%. To succeed. You like to watch the machinations of other people, even when they're terrible people. But you have like the little gems, you know, you got like Tyrion, you got Jon Snow, you got Sansa and like Arya, kind of, I guess. I don't know. She goes a little crazy at the end. But
no,
like,
Arya's good. Arya's good.
She gets a little stabby. It's okay though. But
Yeah.
even like the Hound. Like,
yeah, the Hound.
He's a
didn't
terrible
do it,
person.
yeah.
He gets a nice arc in the show. You end up liking him. Everyone that I watch in this show, I guess except for Aegon, which is crazy. It's crazy to me that I like Aegon now, but every other person in the show, I like less and less every episode. Like Alicent started off liking, don't like her. Rhaenyra started off liking, don't like her. Daemon, I'm like, Daemon's just turned into Jon Snow in the last season's Game of Thrones.
That's my boyfriend.
And he's like, yes, my queen. Anything for my queen. Yes, my queen.
I love that shit. That's the shit I read about.
Yeah, you would,
he's
Felicia.
Only about Rhaenyra. Whatever she says, he will do. Every scene when he's like fighting somebody and he's like, Rhaenyra will rule. I'm like, that's what you want.
He needs to still be a person. I need to still see like a conflict in him. It's unfortunate that there's not a single person in this show to root for. And it makes it really hard to watch. It wouldn't be as hard to watch if it didn't seem so heavy-handed in why. You're like, oh, don't root for Ormond because he'll use kids as shields. And I'm like, I get it. Like, don't root for Rhaenyra because she'll force feed her sister who will then
she's like
die.
mentally
and
unstable.
I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
And Darren, I want him. Like, I hope he got away. Do something the fuck else. Get the hell away from all these people. He's the only one.
I won't tell you what happens to Darren. Then.
Oh,
I don't like Darren. He's a bitch boy. I mean, he's okay. I don't hate him, but I'm definitely rooting for Daemon.
What about
I'm definitely rooting that way.
If Darren had the arc, what I was hoping would happen in this season, because literally no one in this season had an arc. The arc was like
downhill.
Rhaenyra deciding that she's insane. I thought Darren would have the arc of, everything starts to pop off in Tumbleton. He realizes that Ormond had a plan that was, I don't know, maybe to kill Darren, like maybe to kill him or something to find out a way to get to Rhaenyra, or I don't know. I figured there was some plan going on and Darren was going to have to end up killing Ormond. I was like, that's a good character arc. Right? Yeah. It's the guy who raised him. He realizes that he is a psychopath and raised him the wrong way and wants to, get out of those chains. But no, he literally just evaporates at the end of the episode. He's like around and then he's just not around anymore.
Yeah.
It's so weird. He has a dragon. He's supposed to be king, maybe. So many frustrating things. What would you guys rate it out of 10 for the whole season?
Oh, okay. Whole season?
Whole season.
A 6. Yeah, I'll give it a solid 6. Because last season was probably more like a 4. And that's being generous. Season 1, I feel like I really loved. So
I'm with you on the 6 on this one, 6.5, because I gave it a 4.5, 5 the first season, the second season, and I felt bad giving it that because I felt bad not giving it that. I guess I should say, because you're probably right. It was definitely more like 3.5
because it just wasn't entertaining. If you really think about it, if you take away like our love of the Game of Thrones world and just like the characters in itself, we wouldn't love it as much. I think that plays a big part in why I even watch it, is because I will watch anything in this world, whatever they give me, I will watch it. Doesn't mean I'm going to love it more than Game of Thrones. I think I even liked A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms better than I liked House of the Dragon. So
I loved it.
What do you think?
I was going to say, if A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms didn't come out last year, I'd probably give this like a 7. But because I watched another show outside of the original Game of Thrones series that captured that feeling for me again in such a different way, but like such an honest, feel-good way. It understood where the strength of this world is, and it's in the people and like seeing how they get through the situations that they're in. I would probably give this season a higher rating, but I'm going to give it a 4. I can't help but compare it to other Game of Thrones things, and I think this show is doing like considerable damage to Game of Thrones. I think it is changing how people think of this world and these stories, because the thing that made the original show so good was not battles. The battles were few and far between, and fuck, were they good, but like, God, everything in between is what I loved. Like the Red Wedding. It's not like a high budget battle scene, but that was still to this day probably the most insane TV show moment episode of anything ever I've ever seen in my life. That shit rocked me. Like, I have trauma from that episode.
You hear the music and you're like,
die.
You're like, oh my God. Whenever that song comes on, you automatically get scared. Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's like pregnant. What? Dude. Yeah. Oh my God. So brutal. Yeah. Jace's death essentially led to absolutely nothing.
That was sad.
Rhaenyra's plot of her having Sheep Stealer, and it's just
pointless. What the fuck was that?
Like literally pointless. Hugh and Ulf are just the worst written characters ever. They're just not even characters. They're basically plot tools. Yeah. And it just feels like none of this is, it doesn't feel like it's leading to a climax. It just kind of feels like we're just getting to the end. And it's really unfortunate to feel that way, because I'm interested to see how they do it. But at the same time, when a season of Game of Thrones used to end, I used to feel like I lost a sibling. It was just like, I loved it so much. And I would just crave for the next season. And I don't really care. I'll watch it when it comes out, but I'm not excited. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. If you like this season, no shade, dog. It was very entertaining, and I put nothing against you. It was a fun season of TV, just not for the super nerd I am, I guess.
Just not our favorite.
Not our favorite. Yeah. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, hit subscribe, all the good stuff. Come back and watch the next video, because there will be more. And welcome back, because we've been away for a while. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.